And just like that, we're alive. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. So happy that you could be with us tonight. If you joined us for our first show at 7:30 on YouTube, welcome back. If this is the first show that you're seeing this evening, we're so happy to have you on this really beautiful Friday evening. My name is Nicholas Viselli. I am the artistic director of Theater Breaking Through Barriers. And yes, indeed, we are coming to you so very live from right here deep within the heart of the Thunderdome in glorious Midtown Manhattan. And on behalf of our entire company, our staff, our team here at TBTV, I would like to cordially welcome you to Theater Breaking Through Barriers' first ever Hybrid Playmakers Intensive, or HPI 1. Dramatis Ubiquitous. Several people have asked me, what a dumb name. Why did you come up with that dumb name? I don't know. I wish I had an answer for you. When we were doing this as a hybrid, I kept thinking everywhere. We're doing theater online, we're doing it in person, and that means we're everywhere. And I always liked the word ubiquitous for some reason. And so I was like, what can I come up with to go with that? And it just seemed like a cool thing. Anyway, I hope you had an opportunity to join us earlier in the week because we began on Monday, and so here we are at Friday now, and we've had 4 really wonderful shows this week. Outstanding work. I'm just so very pleased with it. The difference with this intensive, just again so you know, when we began this workshop back in 2011, it was an annual event that we did around this time, usually October, November. And we would gather people, a group of artists, writers, directors, actors, randomly pair them together, and then give each group 1 week to create, rehearse, and ultimately perform an original short play before an audience, an invited audience, usually in a studio setting. And everybody loved doing that. And it was always fun because it was great to see what everyone came up with in the course of that time. Flash forward to 2020, everything shut down. We couldn't get together in person. So we thought, why don't we try it online? Why not? Let's throw it against the wall and see if it sticks. And guess what? It stuck. I mean, it really did stick. We had such a great time producing this work, and we were able to generate so much work. And this platform opened up so many doors, allowing us to work with artists wherever they were, anywhere in the world, and meeting at different time zones and all converging here at the same time. This is really extraordinary that we were able to do this. And so during our virtual intensives, we created 75 original short plays and worked with close to 300 artists during that whole period. Amazing. And artists from everywhere, from here in New York to North Carolina to Florida to Chicago, San Francisco, Colorado, Europe, France, South Korea, everywhere. Israel is amazing. So now we want to sort of shift back and say, okay, we used to do them live, then we did them virtually, live on screen. Now let's create a program where we do both. So that's the point of this. All week you're seeing everything virtually, and tomorrow night, Saturday night, the big night, when we are actually going to take 5 plays, 3 that you saw this week, Wednesday show, yesterday's show, and tonight's show, and 2 other shows that you didn't get to see this week that are only going to be performed in person at the studio. So you're going to see 5 shows, and that'll be tomorrow night. And for all of you who can't be here in New York, well, we're going to be streaming tomorrow night's performance live for you, so you can tune in on Zoom on your computer, and you'll be able to see it perform the 5 shows as performed before a live audience. And I don't want to discount you. You're also live, but you'll get to see it from wherever you are. So welcome to the world of technology. So we had a really wonderful show last night. We had a wonderful show the night before. But this is Friday, folks. So the beginning of the weekend, we have a really beautiful show for you. I'm so thrilled to work with David Adam Gill. He's such an extraordinary writer, and has created some really beautiful work for us, but just in general. He's an amazing writer, and he crafted this really beautiful piece that we are going to be premiering for you tonight. The piece is called Putting to Rest. It was directed by, oh my goodness, a directing legend, Ed Setrakian. And I think he did just an amazing job with this. And we have our two wonderful stars, Veronica Cruz and Melissa Jennifer Gonzalez. So I hope that you will enjoy tonight's piece. It's really extraordinary. If you saw it earlier, I'm glad you came back for a second helping. Before we begin, I'd like to ask our artists to please provide a brief audio description for the benefit of anyone who's tuning in who can't see us, so that you'll be able to hear their voices and you'll get an idea as to what they look like. So before we begin, dear artists, would you please describe yourselves?
All right. My name is Melissa Jennifer Gonzalez. I'll be playing the role of Flory. I have shoulder length dark hair. I'm a fair-skinned non-binary Latinx, and I'm wearing black. And I have a peephole on my shirt with colorful embroidery to it.
Hi, I'm Veronica Cruz. I am playing Esther. I have shoulder length, dark brown hair, and I'm wearing all black.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, I ask you all to please sit back, relax, and enjoy David Adam Gill's Putting to Rest.
The empty back room of Delgado's funeral home. The muted murmur of people and light organ music can be heard coming from an adjacent room. Esther enters. She's upset and tries to calm herself by taking deep breaths. She counts to 10. She shakes off the stress. Another deep breath. It's not working. After a moment, Esther's sister Flory enters tentatively. She stares at Esther's back and waits. She steps closer to her sister.
A nice turnout, no?
Esther steps further away.
She looks nice. I think almost too nice, you know? Like, maybe we should have messed up her hair or something. She never went to a beauty parlor or even cared about her appearance that much in life. So why should she look presentable now in the afterlife?
Esther turns to look at Flory.
Right? I mean, who's she getting gussied up for? She didn't believe in God. She hated Daddy. Or does that bleed away the hate from life?
Is that what you're counting on?
I don't know. I mean,
I'm not doing this.
Esther moves to go, then turns back to Flory.
Why are you here?
to say goodbye to my mother, who I loved and will miss very much.
Liar. What do you want?
Nothing?
I don't believe you. You want something.
S?
Money? You know very well there's nothing left.
Listen.
No.
I
don't get it. I really don't. I would laugh if I didn't want to cry.
What have I done?
If you don't know.
To you? I've been absent?
Absent? Absent is fucking missing a class, missing a holiday. What you've been, Sister Flory, is missing in action, MIA for what is it, 5 years?
4.5. I've been going through so much.
I don't.
You're being unfair.
I don't think so.
You're too quick to judge. You know what? Fine. Be angry. I don't care. I don't give a shit. But listen to me. I loved our mother just as much as you, and I will miss her just as much. And whatever you think I did doesn't matter anymore because I'm different. I've changed.
People don't change. They cover up. They paint on a facade, hope people forget, then lie in wait.
Then I feel sad for you, S, if that's how you feel.
Don't feel sad for me. I don't need your pity. What I could have used instead was your help. Painted over or not, me and Mommy could have used your help, but instead you stayed away.
I had my reasons.
I don't want to
You don't care.
Florrie turns to leave.
Going to get a drink?
When did you become this person?
Shortly after you became that one.
So it's my fault? Wow.
Don't do that. Don't turn things around. I am not the villain here.
I am?
If the shoe fits.
That woman used us as weapons against one another our entire lives.
That woman lived for you. Whatever you wanted, whatever you needed, she moved the earth to get it for you.
And you've always been resentful of that? Of me?
Not you, no.
Then what?
Florrie, she didn't hear from you for 5 years.
4.5.
It doesn't matter. It might as well have been 20. She asked for you every day. Even when her mind was going, she always asked for you. And that was cruel.
I told you I was going through a lot. I know you don't care or whatever, but it was better I disappeared.
For who? For Mommy?
Mostly for you.
For me? Yeah, well, that was very convenient for you, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't.
People will be wondering where I've gotten to.
Esther turns to leave, but doesn't. After a moment,
Esther, please.
I heard you got married.
I did, for a hot second.
And I have a niece.
Livia, she's with her father.
Okay, see you later.
Don't you even want to know why?
Well, let me see. I'm guessing you fell off the wagon, dropped her on her head, lost custody due to negligence or incompetency or some other shit.
Close. I tried to kill myself.
What do you mean?
I went to bed with a lot of pills and a bottle of vodka and hoped I wouldn't wake up
Like Daddy.
like Daddy.
I didn't know.
That's why I stayed awake. It wasn't to punish you. It certainly wasn't to punish Mommy, even though she deserved to be punished. It was to punish me.
Punish you?
I kept away from the person I loved the most, but knew I would hurt the most by returning. Remember that doll, Betsy Blue?
Mommy's doll from when she was a little girl? What made you think of... You were terrified of that doll.
That perpetually evil smile, who wouldn't be?
It was just a stupid doll.
Not to me. Mommy used to terrorize me with that doll and drag her out whenever she wanted to get me to behave or do something I didn't want to do. I would cry and cry.
I think... Yes, I remember. It was mean.
I know I was a difficult child, and she had her hands full with me, but...
That's no reason to treat a child that way.
No. I used to have nightmares. Betsy Blue would be chasing after me like the Frankenstein monster with that evil smile. I'd wake up screaming and sobbing, and you would slip into my bed with me and stroke my hair till I fell asleep.
I don't remember that.
You did. Then one day, Betsy disappeared, vanished. Mommy was furious. She tore the house apart. She was convinced that I'd hit her or had thrown her out or something. I know it was you who hid Betsy. You did it to stop Mommy.
It was, she creeped me out too.
You always looked out for me. I've never forgotten that.
Why'd you do it, Flor?
I saw myself repeating the pattern, the behavior, the anger, the lashing out, the passive aggression. I didn't want Livia to go through what we had to go through with Mommy. I didn't want to be that person. I couldn't.
So you chose Daddy's way out.
I know.
Remember how that affected us?
I know.
What about Livia?
That's why I called the ambulance.
You did.
I was lying there, trying to make myself go blank, trying to let the pain fall away. But all I could see in my mind's eye was Mommy. The day of Daddy's funeral, that look on her face, the unkempt hair, the immense sadness. Something. I stopped. I called 911.
I remember that day. Mommy's face. I think that's the reason I stayed. I think after Daddy killed himself, she tried to do the best she could.
Her best was not very good.
She never hit us, hardly.
No, bruised our spirits is what she did. Harder to see, but much more painful, lasting. We've grown to be strangers. I blame her.
I miss her so much. Isn't that stupid? It's only been a few days and I can't breathe. I can't. She's been a pain in my ass for the last 5 years.
4 years.
And a half. I have spent every waking moment of every day thinking about her, making sure she was comfortable, fed, cleaned, though she fought me tooth and nail.
I know.
Always the contrarian. I should be relieved, right? I should be planning a fucking trip or something.
I'm ashamed to say I am relieved. It feels like I've been set free.
Why did you come back then?
I realized I'd lost something.
What?
My hub.
We both lost our hub. As out of alignment as it might have been. She was the sun to our solar system for so long.
No, I don't mean Mommy. I mean you.
Me?
You were always the hub, the thing that kept us together.
Lori.
If we can't grow up, if we can't change, then why even bother? How will it ever get better if we can't accept and be forgiven?
It'll take time. I need some time.
Okay, but I miss my sister.
And I miss mine. So we'll try, okay?
Okay.
Do you think she'll find peace?
Mommy?
Yes. Do you think the pain, the bad things in life, do we bring them with us when we die, or do they all just melt away?
I hope so.
Me too.
Esther takes Florrie by the hand as the lights dim to black. The end.
Wow. Really beautiful. Really, really beautiful. Such great work, you guys. Really, so wonderful. Come on back. Let's talk about this a little bit.
Okay. You sure?
Wow. David, such a great show. Ed, thank you. Such wonderful direction. I also want to give a shout out to Kate Grant, who is doing all of the stage directions. Thank you. Her head just sort of fades in and fades out. It was very cute. Yeah, you know what I love about this play? It's very real. I think this play is very real. It doesn't feel overly dramatic or anything. I mean, I get it. I just understand, I understand this, I find the way the dynamics of the two sisters are, the relationship they had, the individual relationships and the collective relationship they had with their family and their mother, and why they ended up doing what they did. And also feeling this loss and relief and change. Like, there's so much in here that I find so fascinating, that I tie into. I mean, obviously I can relate to it on a personal level, but I can also relate to it on a level of everything that on a much bigger level, I think on a collective level, things that we've all been going through over the last couple of years, in terms of what we've lost and what we've gained, the ability or inability to communicate with each other, as a community, as a society. I think they say, if you live in New York, you live in a bubble, and to a degree that's true. But I'm really kind of interested in talking about how this play almost serves as a microcosm for something that's a little bit bigger, which is there's a period of loss, a period of grief, and a period of coping and trying to move on, which I think is an important idea of where we are right now in our world. I think, and I'd love to talk about that with all of you. Not so much on an intimate or personal level, but more about just your thoughts and experiences of where we are in our world right now. Trying not to get too political, just more a general thought. And I'd actually like to start with our two performers, our two actors, because you guys really did such a wonderful job of embodying all of this, and allowing us to feel it. Veronica, I'm going to start with you.
Hi.
Look, hi. Do you get what I'm saying in terms
Yes.
of, yeah, what are your thoughts on any of this?
Well, I think it's a really great play, and it's emotionally complex, and it's only like 9 minutes long. And when you first work on it and then you start digging in, there's so many different things that are going on and emotions that are going on at the same time.
Mhm.
It's overwhelming a little bit, but it's very realistic.
Yeah, it really is. Um,
And the relationship between the sisters is also very realistic
mhm. I agree.
in a good way.
I think that there's a lot packed into this.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, and to see how, and to see the, you know, people have always, prior to the, I will say this, prior to the pandemic, we every year we were doing these short play festivals, and ultimately I was told short plays are dead. Nick, come on, we got to move on. Like, you know, at least do a one act festival, not a short play festival, because you can't really do a lot in 10 minutes or whatever.
Oh, here.
And this, all this does is prove that is wrong. And short plays were the perfect format for what we're doing here. I agree. I think that there's a lot that's packed into this. And I think that it sort of, to me, serves as it. I relate to this personally because it's been a really, on a personal note, it's been a really challenging year for my family. Without getting into too much, it's just been there's been a lot going on, and so a lot of what is discussed and handled in this, maybe not the same thing, but it's completely relatable. David had mentioned one of the reasons why he wrote this piece, and I completely, it's like, wow, yeah, it's amazing. And yet it sort of echoes not just a personal time, but a time that we're all feeling, I think. The last few years have really, there's been a great sense of loss for all of us. And there's also been a great sense of division in all of us. And so to see division at the beginning of this play, which is all enshrouded in loss, and then hopefully ending with a coming together, I think is a very positive, is very beautiful and very positive idea. What about you, Melissa? Do you have any ideas or any thoughts about this?
Oof. Well, I couldn't agree more with what Veronica just mentioned, because I mean, I said before in our first showing of the show that I don't have siblings myself, but given the complex relationship between Esther and Flory, it's as real as it can get. And especially when they both have lost a loved and dear member of the family, that's when they start to reconnect. So it seems pretty real to me. So that's pretty much what I gotta say on that end.
Yeah, I agree. I see you have a message, David. You might have to leave a little prematurely. So before they drag you out of wherever you are, I wanted to know if as you were writing this, if you had any ideas or thoughts about sort of how this fits in the bigger picture of where we are in our world right now.
I think cosmically, absolutely. I mean, I think there's a reason why these characters wouldn't go where I wanted them to go in the first place. I do feel as though this moment is that we're all living through, and the moment that these sisters are coming together echo one another in terms of isolation, depression, a sense of loss, a sense of not knowing where you are, and losing kind of a touchstone, as she calls her sister, the hub. And I feel like we're starting to come out of that, and that there is hope, and that people are starting to make those connections.
Yeah.
The first time I was an audience member in a Broadway show. It was one of the greatest things I've ever felt. The whole energy of the audience.
Mhm.
We were like, I like to say we were like that aspen grove. That's the largest organism in the world. We were connected by energy, and it was so exciting. And the first time I went, I met some friends out for just a pint. After I felt comfortable enough to meet up with people, it was exciting. It was almost heartbreaking.
Mhm.
What the loss felt like and what the connection became. You know, it had all that more importance to it because it had been so long, and people just they starve for that energy, that connection from other people. And yeah, there was definitely echoes of that within this play.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And again, this is something that's been echoed. The first Jared Bogart's play, which we did on Monday night, which is called Meeting on the Stairs, which the main themes of that were the fact that you had this couple that had moved to this big house, and they were having trouble with their internet. And the fact is they lived in a big house and they were in separate rooms. They were so disconnected. And it was funny, and it was also sad. And it was also, there was this, the beginning of it began with a disconnect and it ended with a reconciliation. So once again, this idea of loss and disconnect and a positive ending that we sense are coming together, very similar to here. Tuesday's play was a bit more of a melodrama, but it dealt with a lot of sibling rivalry and a lot of crazy stuff that was going on with the parents and the family and all that. Similar also here. Tatiana's play on Wednesday dealt with also relationships and trying to and two friends talking about their disconnects with their partners, and the other person who was deliberately sort of distancing and disconnecting out of fear. So like so much of that I sense in the plays that we're doing now. It's almost like that period of trying to find each other again. So I think that's amazing. How about you, Ed? Do you have any thoughts about anything? I know you have to go. Sorry, David. Thank you for being here. Thank you for writing such a great piece.
Thank you all so much. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm very excited to meet you in
Okay,
person.
tomorrow, live, folks. We're going to do this live. Come and you'll get to see David in person. You'll get to see all of us in person. All right. Thank you. Ed, tell me, did you have any thoughts about this as you were directing this? Is there anything that does this ring any?
Run through we've had.
Mm-hmm.
Best run through we've had today.
Thank you.
At the very end, she said, "I miss my sister."
Yep.
She said that, and I was so moved by it. I said, "We've arrived.
Yeah.
We've nailed it.
Yeah.
We've nailed it.
Mm-hmm.
So much better."
Mm-hmm.
It was so effortless. It had a feeling of effortlessness.
Yeah.
There was no acting.
Mm-mm.
It was living. I said, "This is it. This is it. This is the one."
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, we were there.
Yeah. I'm so happy. I'm so happy that yeah, I agree with you. You really felt the really beautiful connection, and it just felt so easy, so simple. And it wasn't. I mean, you had to arrive at that moment, and you just did a beautiful job, both of you. Really amazing.
You were terrific. Both of you were just terrific.
Mm-hmm.
So much better. It was relaxed. It was easy. It was alive. It was intimate. That was the thing.
Mm-hmm.
These two sisters meant something to each other.
Yeah.
I played them.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's great.
They have a great chemistry together, don't they, Ed?
I'll say.
Yep. Again, I'm just so grateful for that. I can take no credit for it. Part of it is, of course, your talent and who you are, but it's also just yeah, it just is the way it all came together. So I'm very grateful for that, for all of it. Yeah, thank you all so much for this incredible work that you're doing. And the best part for me, not only we got to see it twice tonight, but that we get to see it tomorrow in person. So thank you for that. Does anyone have any other thoughts or final thoughts before we call this call it an early Friday night, so you can all just relax a little bit and maybe have a drink or something? I don't know. Have a nice nice evening. Does anyone have anything else they'd like to say? No, yes. No, okay. All right.
Maybe
Well,
I do.
Yes,
Maybe
yes.
I do. Personally, for me, this play got me to push me out of my comfort zone and to experience things that I didn't think I would do on stage in this kind of aspect. But I guess I would have to thank Ed, David, as well as Veronica and Kathy. I think that's yes.
Hey,
Yes, also everybody in the cast and crew for just making this show come to life. So that's all I gotta say. Again, thank you to everybody.
No, my goodness, thank you. You're wonderful, Melissa. You really are. I'm so grateful.
And thank you to you, Nick, and everybody at TBTB.
Yes, no, it's a pleasure. You guys elevate our work, and it's just such an honor to know you and to work with you. And I just think you're all amazing. So thank you so much.
You're a great moderator, my friend.
Thank you, Ed. Thank you. So anyway, that's a big kiss for all of you. I want to thank all of you for tuning in. Thank you so much for being a part of our work, hopefully all week, but most especially for tonight. Again, I ask you to please go to our website. You can see everything that we've been up to and everything that we're going to be doing. We have a lot of really exciting things planned. If you really like our work, click the donate button at the top of the page. The most important thing, I mean, of course, we would love for you to help support us with a donation. That would be lovely and wonderful during this time of year, of course, more than usual. But just your attention and your support and the hope that you will bring other people to come and see what we're doing. We're very proud of our work here at TBTB because we're as you can see, we work with really outstanding artists. We work with a lot of artists and performers with disabilities that you don't really see on this platform. That's good for many reasons. Not that we want to hide disability, but we want you to see the artists. We don't want you to see the disability. That's so important. And for us to celebrate great art, professional art, off-Broadway quality, like really great art, that's a gift. So a lot of people don't know us yet. So it's up to you to introduce us. So my ask is tell people about us. Let them know who we are. And hopefully you'll come and see our work, and you'll see it not because it's a good cause, but because it's good art. And that's the most important thing. So tomorrow night is the live portion of this. This is what makes this a hybrid. So if you would like to come and see it live, if you're in New York, all you have to do is go to our website, tbtb.org. And all of the instructions are there as to how you can get tickets for tomorrow evening. Free tickets, cost you nothing except for your time, which is also a generous donation, but it's worth it. Come on, look at what you see. It's worth it. So you can come tomorrow night. If you can't make it live, well then at 6 p.m, all you have to do is watch right here. We're going to be streaming live on both Facebook and YouTube at the same time. So we will be broadcasting to everyone. So even if you're not in the room, you will still be in the room as long as you're watching. So we hope that you'll tune in tomorrow night. You will get to see 5 shows, 3 shows that you saw earlier this week. The 3 plays that you saw this week that you're going to be seeing live tomorrow evening are Tatiana Rivera's That We Keep, Kate Allen's really wonderful I Am Obligated to Disclose, and of course tonight David Adam Gill's Putting to Rest. And then you are going to get a bonus. You're going to see 2 shows that you didn't see at all this week that are going to be premiering live tomorrow night. You saw Catherine Grant in the background before. What an amazing playwright she is. And she wrote this really beautiful piece called A Private Sorrow. So we hope that you'll tune in. A lot of themes that are very similar to what we just talked about tonight. And then there's a play by Chris Chan Roberson. Really interesting piece. We'll talk about it tomorrow. It's called Rose, Begonia, Tansy, Sunflower. So we hope that you'll tune in and see all 5 of those shows or come down and see us live. Thank you again for all of your time. And we hope to see you tomorrow night in person. For now, have a wonderful evening. And thank you again. Good night, all. Bye-bye.
Good night, everybody.
Okay, good.